We're finally gonna get through an intro. Yes? No! Tonight on the Keeg, Batman. Whose Batcave is he parking in? Speaking about dynamic duos, which dynamic duo has just broken up in the Muppet universe? I'll give you a hint. Ain't no more green eggs and ham. We'll end with the green eggs and ham. Also, we talk about abortions. No, we do not talk about that. We don't talk about that on the show. We talk about Kegels. We don't. No. Okay. What does happen is I do get criticism over my hosting ability. All that and more on tonight's The Keeg. Welcome to The Keeg. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and today we will be talking about all things geek with my two lovely guests. My first guest is Davey Lynham. Davey is a member of Laugh Chance improv team that performs out of Stages Theater in Fullerton, California. You are also a member of Lucid Streamers, right, on Twitch? Yes. And that's coming soon?
Yeah, coming soon. Hopefully in the next month or so.
Okay, and what kind of things will you be streaming on Twitch?
A lot of different games. Anywhere from League of Legends to Rocket League to games coming out like Fallout 4, Battlefront, Battlefield
Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie. He'll just be streaming that movie nonstop. Okay, awesome. Looking forward to it. My second guest is Robert Long. Robert is executive director at CIA, which is not what you're thinking. It's the Center of Improv Advancement, unless that was what you were thinking. And then you're correct.
That's our goal. We want everybody to think of that first
right.
before they think of that other CIA.
Right. I feel like
CIA should inspire smiles.
Right, exactly. And I feel like people should go on Google, and if they type in CIA, you should be the first thing that pops up.
Comedy that kills.
Yeah. And then, okay. Let's get to our news, shall we? First news point for today.
I really need you to finish reaching for that.
I was going to reach for my Dr. Pepper in the green lantern glass.
That bothered me.
But, okay, you want me to complete it?
You aborted your effort to get a drink.
We are not pro or anti-abortion on this show. But
because I used the word aborted?
You did, and I felt you were setting me up for that.
The word aborted means to stop. It's not mission abort.
Whoa. We're going to move on. Our first news point for today is big news. Breaking news, in fact. Kermit and Miss Piggy have broken up. I don't know what that means. Were they together in the first place? They've kind of been on and off, kind of Ross and Racheling it for a while now. But now they've officially broken up. I personally think it's to lead up to the TV show that's coming out soon.
Aren't they married? Didn't they get married?
Did they get married?
Muppets in Manhattan. Muppets Take Manhattan. That far back, Great Muppet Caper or something like that? Wasn't there?
Did they get married?
It was Manhattan.
Did they get married?
Everybody off stage is going, yes, it was Manhattan. It was Manhattan. It wasn't the sequel stuff. It was Muppets Take Manhattan where they got married.
Didn't they have kids?
How dare you previously mention abortion and then go straight into Miss Piggy and Kermit?
Whoa, I was not linking the two. I was not.
But that's what's going on in my head.
That's your head. That is your head.
You did that.
Davey, thoughts about abortion? I mean, Miss Piggy and Kermit?
You know, for a while.
And bacon.
For a while, I was like, are they still dating?
Yeah, I want to know.
Why are they not married? It's been like, how many years now?
Muppets Take Manhattan was the early 80s. They've been married for over 30 years.
So it's crazy that they're now divorced. It's a long marriage.
Mm-hmm. They'll save it. They're not divorced yet. They're fictional characters. They're puppets.
They're
Muppets.
They're Muppets.
There's a guy with his hand up inside them and running two sticks that run their arms.
Maybe that's why they broke up. Somebody was already up inside Piggy.
There was a third member of that team.
This is dark.
What's the third member?
The hand.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna
was that a pun about members?
I guess, kind of.
I thought you were going to go Scooter. Scooter was the stage manager on the Muppet Show. The original. Okay. The red-headed dude with the orange skin and the glasses. Green jacket.
There's probably a lot of those guys back there, though. I feel like they were all...
No, he was a Muppet. Scooter was the stage manager.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about a real person.
No, Scooter. He was a Muppet on the Muppet Show. He was a stage manager.
Okay.
He would be like, Kermit, we can't find Mark Hamill. Stuff like that.
I sadly grew up on the short-lived Muppets Tonight.
And you do? Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
There was one bit on Muppets Tonight I really enjoyed.
Which was
Kermit the Frog singing, even though it wasn't Jim Henson, singing Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads.
Mm.
Kermit in the big white suit and doing this. Oh, I was rolling on the floor. That was so funny.
I don't remember it. I do remember when Cindy Crawford popped in an episode.
I don't know who that is.
You're the old person here. You of all people should know who Cindy Crawford is.
I just wanted to be the person out of the group that didn't know who something was.
But you know.
No.
You know who she is.
I'm going to say I don't know who that is.
Because I knew who she was.
Today.
Is Davey.
I'm going to have to say I don't also know
Oh, she was a supermodel.
I was a Kathy Ireland person.
Oh, okay. Kermit breaking up. I think it brings up a lot of questions about other fictional couples. Where are they now? A lot of fictional couples, Superman and Lois Lane, have been together for a long time, and then they broke up, and then now they're still broken up? But where are they now?
They're in the pages of DC Comics.
Yeah.
Because they put Superman with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because, even though I liked the Batman.
I like Batman and Wonder Woman as well.
That somehow makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But the fans clamored for Superman and Lois Lane, and...
It's always been in my head that Superman and Wonder Woman were always together.
See, that's why they
Wait,
did it.
ever since you knew of them?
Just since knowing.
Like on the sly?
Just like forever.
Like he was married to Lois Lane, but he was still...
With Wonder Woman the entire time.
To me, Superman and Lois Lane will always be in the silver bed of Superman 2 in the Fortress of Solitude. That's where they will always be.
How does he save the world if he's always in bed? What about notorious homosexual couple Mike and Ike? Where are they now?
Well, they broke up for a while.
They broke up?
Yeah.
That's true. Are they back together?
Mike runs a cartel out of Cartagena, Colombia.
Oh. Is that a real place?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ike turned state's evidence to the DEA, so they split up, and Mike has been producing hot tamales ever since.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's switched to that side of the hot tamales.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been following Mike for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's...
On Twitter?
On Twitter. Yeah. Right on Twitter.
Hot tamale sounds like a stripper name. Like a male stripper name. Notorious heterosexual platonic couple Ben and Jerry.
Why does everybody have to be notorious?
They're all notorious.
Is that a reference to the Hitchcock film?
No, it's Biggie. It's a Biggie reference.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry as a kid.
Moving on. There are some new trailers that came out. One recently and another one a month ago. But since we haven't had a show for a month now, we gotta go over it. All right. There was the recent Deadpool trailer, as well as the kind of recent Spectre trailer, the new James Bond movie. Watching the Deadpool trailer, let's start with Deadpool.
Will there be music playing in the background of this?
There could be music because we are moving on to trailer trash. Is there animation? Is there going to be animation?
Like
Trailer trash.
Trash drops in from the top of the...
Yeah, with like a trailer.
Piles up until you can't see us anymore?
Yeah. Let's talk trailer trash about Deadpool. What do you guys think?
Ugh. Ugh.
Ugh. Just sounds from Davey. You want me to get started? I'll get started. I think the jokes are kind of lame. I think that they're forcing some of these jokes. It doesn't make sense in context how Ryan Reynolds is saying, I don't want the costume to be green or animated. How is he going to have an animated costume in the context of the movie?
Maybe it's a CGI joke.
I understand the joke.
But he'd be wearing a green suit in order for them to animate the costume.
I know, but in the movie, you can't have an animated costume. It doesn't make any sense.
But the costume is animated.
For us viewing the movie, yes.
What if it's animated in real life?
In continuity, you can't animate things in real life.
This is so meta.
This guy's also got superhuman abilities, which is...
Okay, you guys are not trashing it.
The point of Deadpool is to be meta.
Alright. This is trailer trash.
Okay, I can trash every trailer Jonathan Anderson.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of them.
What?
Trailers
Why?
come out, you watch them and you go, oh, that was like, it's like saying you eat candy and that's your nutritional supplement for the day. Trailers don't give you any clue how the movie's actually going to be.
Depends on the trailers. Some trailers really, like, just tell you the whole movie. Any Nicholas Sparks thing, all you gotta do is, like, throw in a sickness at the end and it'll be good. So, like, Deadpool. Let's talk Deadpool.
If the trailer was exactly how the movie's gonna be, I feel like half of the movie is just gonna be that test footage.
Yeah.
That's half the trailer.
Right.
Plus
right.
Colossus.
Colossus in it. Why would they recast Colossus when that first actor was so great?
That was 15 years ago.
That first actor was amazing. He made me tear up. I felt like I really believed his emotions.
The guy from X-Men 2?
Yes. And this movie...
He was in it for 30 seconds!
That was 30 seconds of brilliance, my friend. And now they recasted him with who knows who.
Did you have the same gripe over X-Men Days of Future
We're
Past?
not trashing that.
There was Colossus in that too.
That was the same Colossus.
No,
and
was it?
Yes, it was.
15 years later, same guy?
Yeah. And it wasn't 15 years later because he first appeared in X-Men 2. And then... when was X-Men 2? I don't know. The point being is that, like, how dare they recast Colossus? I know his name, Daniel Cudmore. How dare they?
Because that's a household name and you gotta keep paying.
And they recasted him and they made him CGI.
Yeah.
Why can't they spray paint him silver like they did in the first movie?
Please don't make the costume silver and don't animate it.
Yeah, exactly. One of the first jokes is, don't make this suit CGI. Colossus is CGI.
Colossus CGI and Deadpool eyes are CGI?
So meta.
Maybe the joke should have been, don't make the suit green or animate my eyes.
So it's an origin story of a medical experiment gone wrong, military medical experiment
Right, and
gone
then
wrong,
I guess he just...
and then he fights Russians.
I don't think he fights Russians. I think Colossus is there to stop him.
How dare you say Colossus is not Russian?
No. He does... Wait, what? Moving on to our next trailer is the Spectre trailer, and which is the new 007 movie that's coming out. Thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, why does like every action movie trailer have to start with something like Day of the Dead, like some Hispanic holiday?
It's like the only Hispanic holiday that like the producers know.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's in Mexico City, so what holiday? They don't celebrate Christmas there. Day of the Dead.
Yeah. It's because everyone's gonna die. So
yeah. Ooh, foreshadowing. Oh. I think I'm like, why do trailers always start off in the beginning of the movie where like the hero is, or like in James Bond especially, oh, he's in some foreign country. Like it always starts off and then it's a mission gone wrong. This is kind of formulaic.
Yeah, I feel like
He shot at some guy and then the building blew up. Oh, like now he's on the run.
Where did we leave the Bond character after Skyfall?
I thought he was like,
Was he like fired?
or happily married.
Those are two completely different.
I don't think he was happily married.
No.
I don't
He
know.
got married and on His Majesty's Secret Service, but then she got shot.
Her Majesty?
No, his wife.
Oh.
That's
Queen
supposedly
of
the
England?
reason behind his misogyny, that his wife was killed and so he's emotionally unwilling to commit to anybody.
That excuses his misogyny.
That's what I said. It's supposed to explain his misogyny.
I know, but it's just my wife died. My wife died, so I hate women.
I'm just gonna sleep with them all.
Christoph Waltz. Believable?
I watched Christoph Waltz be Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. I heard he's playing himself.
Christoph
Hello,
Waltz.
Bond. I'm Christoph Waltz.
The ultimate Bond.
You may
villain.
know me from such movies as Inglourious Bastards. But now I shall kill you.
Which you have not
Okay,
seen.
way to call me out on that
Uh-huh.
in front of national TV. Jeez. But yes, I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards yet. I'm waiting for the 20th Platinum Edition.
I made a joke about how I was hoping he was drinking milk during the big banquet scene where he spots Bond in the crowd, and you had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah. I also made an Eyes Wide Shut reference. at that one.
Which I've not seen, but I understood.
Yeah, I feel like they name James Bond movies nowadays according to where they can put the bullet hole. Spectre, C. There's a hole in there. Whoosh. What's the next one gonna be? It's gonna be
Gunshot.
Mm-hmm. Or show me the one where Spectre and Smirch get together and go, you know what, we're going to put a bounty on his head. And the entire novel is assassins from around the world trying to take out James Bond.
That would be really cool.
I want to see those stories.
That would be really cool.
But the next title, The World Is Not Enough, Tomorrow Never Dies, all these are just prepositional phrases.
They're not even. They're
just random collections of
sentence
words.
fragments. Double O.
I wish they'd use the music more.
Yeah.
I wish that thing.
That is a good segue. Music. Music connects us as human beings. It's something.
If you go where I think you're going, I'm going to applaud you.
Yeah, music, it connects us. It
Winston's over there
makes
scowling at
us
like, what the hell
feel
is that?
human. Music is all across cultures. And where do all the cultures come together? New York City. Where does music take place in New York City? Broadway. We're going to talk about Archie on Broadway. There are recent news. There's recent news.
Oh, God.
Did you like that segue? That was a good segue.
I've been practicing my Jim Halpert look ever since I brought it up.
Yeah, there's a recent news about Archie being brought to Broadway, supposedly directed by Adam McKay. Any of you guys familiar with Archie at all? Mm-hmm. Davey, you are the youngest person here.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the really old comic book that isn't as popular anymore as it used to be, Archie?
No.
What do you know about Archie? Throw out a couple things. What do you know? Should make some bold decisions.
I know from what my understanding is that it's a boy and his friends kind of experiencing childhood life in this fantasy type place where they're all like good people. And I know there was this one moment where character was gay and they're like, it's okay to be gay. And I remember that was supposed to be real big. So, and then there's a kid named Archie.
Good call.
Yeah.
One's got red hair, so I know that.
Which one?
Archie.
Okay.
Archie has red hair.
Yeah.
So.
Are you excited for Archie on Broadway?
Nope.
Let me rephrase that. Are you excited for Archie on Broadway?
Nope.
Oh. Any reason why? You're not a fan of Archie or Broadway?
I live in California and I don't get to Broadway all that often?
Yeah, and we don't, Spider-Man After Dark turned out so well.
After Dark, that's what it was called.
That what it was called, right?
No.
What was it?
Turn on the dark.
What's...
Turn off the dark.
Okay, Turn Off the Dark. Spider-Man After Dark is the porno. It's actually the porno that...
It was called Spider-Man Lose $2 Million a Week.
Yeah.
That's what it was called.
Also, lose 2 million lives a week. No, 2 lives?
That's genocide.
Yeah.
Dark show.
Archie on Broadway. I like what they're doing with the zombie title. Basically, what Archie's been doing is they have their own like double digest, whatever that they put out, which is just the old style comics. But they've been trying to reinvent itself. A long time ago, they did Archie versus Punisher, like a long time ago, where Punisher came to Riverdale to like find some like drug dealer that looked just like Archie. That was a long time ago, but recently they've been doing something similar. They did Archie versus Predator, which I read I read all 4 issues.
Cool.
It was in the end Betty and Veronica. Sorry, spoilers. There's a lot of things. Well, we're in summer right now, so there's not too much of TV. But when it starts up again, big shows, Flash and Arrow, and their spin-off miniseries. Legends of Tomorrow will be coming out. Flash and Arrow have recently released a lot of news articles about different characters that they're bringing in to the show. Arrow will be bringing in Anarchy, as well as Flash will be bringing in Wally West. They've cast Wally West. Their villain for season 2 of Flash will be Zoom, which you see a little bit there's a teaser with like blue lightning.
Isn't he Professor Zoom? Is that a different guy?
Okay, so this is a very, very good question. Basically,
in the comics, Eobard Thawne was from the future and came back to kill the Flash because he idolized him, and then Flash fought him, blah, blah, blah. He was known as the Reverse Flash, and then he was known as Professor Zoom. So he has 2 aliases. Then, in modern day time, Wally West had a villain named Zoom.
Okay.
And his goal was to make Flash the best Flash possible by making him suffer and become greater through the suffering.
Okay.
So that's Zoom. So they're supposed to bring in Zoom, they're bringing in the multiverse, bringing in Jay Garrick, which is the World War II Flash, but in this he's a young guy, just in a different, like, alternate universe.
With the metal helmet?
With the metal helmet. That you see at the end of season 1 of Flash.
Okay.
They're bringing in Mr. Terrific. Do you know who that is?
No.
Dave doesn't know. Do you know? He is
I hear he's terrific, though.
one of the smartest men in the world. And he owns his own company, and he's very tech-based. He's pretty cool in the comics. In the show, they've released his name, and it's not Michael Holt. It's somebody else Holt. And I feel like, it's just going to be his brother. And then they also made him, his name is going to be, no, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be Steve Holt. It's something other than those two. And so, and they've also made him gay.
Thanks for the misleading information.
Which is interesting because Mr. Terrific is one of the smartest men in DC Universe. He's also African American, and you'd feel that that's enough. But in the show, they're making him gay. But they're making another person. It's not Michael Holt again. It's like Curtis Holt or something.
Generic white name Holt?
I guess. Only white people can be named Michael?
No, it's just...
That's a biblical name, man.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
So they, and then they also have Patty Spivot coming to Flash, which is a love interest. And so basically, there are a lot of new characters coming to Arrow and Flash. Damien Dark for Arrow. And so I want you guys, knowing what you guys know about the show, give me your top 5 DC heroes or villains that you would want to see on Arrow or
Can I
Flash.
preface this by saying I've watched 1 episode of Arrow?
You gotta look to that camera.
I've watched 1 episode of The Flash.
You gotta convince them.
And I watched the first half of the first season of Arrow before it got too teenage girl soap opera for me.
Skip to season 2.
Which I'm told it's recovered from.
Yes.
So there's a good chance I'm going to name people who have been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have said Brother Blood, but I understand he's actually the bad guy of season 2 of Arrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the bad guys, but yes.
I love Brother Blood.
Yeah. You like the mystical Brother Blood in Teen Titans? That Brother Blood? I like that too. That's not... So Davey is opening up the DC Comics Encyclopedia.
Yeah, we'll be back in a minute.
Oh, that... You actually pulled open to Mr. Terrific. Why don't you show the camera?
Oh my God!
He
Mr.
literally...
Terrific 1 and 2. So, 1,
Yeah.
2.
But the second Mr. Terrific is Kick-Ass. But anyway.
The movie
Kick-Ass?
Not Kick-Ass from the movie, but I think it's very serendipitous that you pulled it open to the same page.
His first appearance.
What's his first experience?
No, wait, this is ironic.
The Spectre. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. Heroes or villains that you would want to see in Arrow or the Flash. List them.
Starro.
Starro as a villain. As a villain?
Is Starro a good guy?
No. You want to see literally Starfish.
Giant space starfish taking over people.
You want the giant Starro, or you want the small ones that attach to your face and then make you bad?
It's all the same thing.
They're like spores, right? For the big
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Something like that. Okay. That's your number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2.
Gorilla Grodd.
He's appeared in Flash. But he's cool. He's cool.
Brainiac.
Okay. Would appear in Flash or Arrow?
Brainiac's Superman villain, so I don't think it matters where he shows up.
I think it does. I think Green Arrow is more grounded.
Then I'd put Brainiac in the Flash.
And one for my list is Orion, son of Darkseid, God or Dog of War.
I would see Mr. Miracle. Not as bad guy though.
Mr. Oh,
Scott Free.
Yeah,
Greatest name in the history of comics.
I love Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
I also love that Mr. Miracle is average height and his wife is so much taller than him. He has a tall girlfriend.
I want to see
Sci-fi.
Doomsday in a non-Superman story. I would love to see Arrow go up against Doomsday.
Yeah, but like a teenage angsty Doomsday.
Yeah, with like emo hair.
That was literally what they did on Smallville. Not with the emo hair.
Doomsday had emo hair on Smallville?
It wasn't emo hair. No. He had a buzz cut, but he was.
Doomsday was on Smallville?
Yeah.
God. Why am I here? Tell me why I'm here.
Davey?
Alright.
Got your 5? You're just gonna pick 5 on the same page?
I'm just gonna go random.
Okay.
First of all, I did drop someone from actual Flash, Max Mercy.
What?
Max Mercury.
Max Mercury. That's actually on my list too.
I envy you doing this randomly, by the way. That's a brilliant idea.
There's someone called the Killer Shark.
Oh, Killer Shark.
Killer Shark
that's
was
just
in the
name.
Flash comic that was based off this TV show, but I will accept it as well.
Well, if it wasn't in the TV show.
Can I just go back to all the old Super Friends villains that were part of the Legion of Doom and never showed up?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Black Manta.
I want to see Aquaman appear.
The Dollmaker. I want to see Dollmaker. Is that his name?
Dollmaker was an Arrow. Cool.
Ted Kord's Blue Beetle. And Booster Gold.
Yeah.
As misunderstood villains
No.
who then get converted over and become good guys.
No, they wouldn't be misunderstood villains. They should be a team of duo that
Booster
are
Gold's from
bumbling.
the future.
I know, but they should be bumbling like heroes, like a heroic duo.
Right, who are eventually thought of as villains,
Mm-hmm.
and then they realize that they have heroic motivations, and so they get converted over.
Okay.
I
Thank you,
really
I'll be expecting the check.
like this picture of the Teen Titans, so all of the Teen
All
Titans.
the Teen Titans.
Recent movies that have come out: Ant-Man, Mission Impossible, and Fantastic Four. But let's start talking about Ant-Man.
See, I thought you were going to use the music from James Bond to link to the music from Mission Impossible. And I was going to give you applause for that.
Did you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Not together.
He declined my invitation.
Okay.
He's like, hey, you want to go see Ant-Man?
I took my kids to see it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And how'd they like it? How'd you like it?
Go ahead.
I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know a lot about Ant-Man in general, so it was pretty comfortable to go and go watch it and just kind of be immersed in that origin story.
Yeah. I was a bit hesitant when they were doing Hank Pym, and they were doing Scott Lang, but Paul Rudd is a bankable, charismatic star, and the fact that they got him is good. And I thought the movie was the most human of all the Marvel movies.
I thought the trio at the head of the movie was very entertaining to watch. Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd, they all worked really well together. I really liked the script as far as figuring out where Hank Pym, Country Tim Lemonade, where he had been through the foundation of the Avengers, because that was a big question a lot of fans had. And I thought his entire explanation made sense, fit well, and was clever. I love the fact that the movie opens up the possibility of the microverse.
Yeah.
I think that just made me laugh when I realized that could happen in a Marvel movie now.
I thought the whole time he was going to be in Microverse, and then she was going to come out of nowhere and like, this is how you get out.
Yeah.
But that's the whole,
I thought he was gonna meet her in there or something, but
My kids liked it a lot more than I did. And I think that was because they had much more of a sense of wonder because they don't know anything about Ant-Man or the Pym particle or how that works. And when they're going, whoa, that's a neat new way to fight and all that, I'm just going, yep, that's what the character does.
yeah.
Yep.
I thought it sucked when Anthony died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anthony was the best character.
It was sad. It was like his steed.
But I thought it was weird that Darren Cross could like kind of shoot and then a bullet hits a flying ant.
Well, I just thought it was
Good show.
random.
I thought it was random.
Dan
chance.
Cross should have been Crossfire eventually.
Yeah.
Even though those are two different characters.
Darren
Darren Cross in the comics sucks, man. Darren Cross
Which
is
is why he should have become Crossfire.
yeah. Really quick, have you guys seen Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation?
No.
No.
Neither have I.
Moving on. We ask that you guys out there in Hollywood land tweet us with hashtag Keeg Talk. Keeg Talk. You can send comments, you can send questions. If you want to ask us anything or say anything,
What about
feel
the people
free.
who are outside of Hollywood land?
Hollywood land is everywhere.
Because I thought you were just trying to say that only people in Hollywood.
Okay, anyone out there can
How about
tweet
Keeg
us.
land?
Keeg land.
Any Kegels out there?
That is not our fan base. Our fan base is not Kegels.
Cankles.
Winston's reaction.
Winston's face. Ask you that you tweet us. And so we have a tweet that we need to answer. Alright? This tweet is from @NathanWitt. Hashtag Keeg Talk. Does Bruce Wayne ever sleep with a girl? Hashtag Blue Fan. I'm not quite sure about the Blue Fan part. But we can answer, does Bruce Wayne ever sleep with the girl? In your guys' opinion, does Bruce Wayne ever sleep with the girls that he dates?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
No?
Nah, he doesn't have time for that.
Is he above having sex?
I don't think he's above it. I think he just makes it a point not to, because part of that, it helps. You know, with sex, you get emotionally connected with people. It's a way to bond with people, and Batman just doesn't bond with people. Very emotionally disconnected.
Okay. Do you have an opinion?
Depends on the writer. Depends on the era.
Okay, don't cheat us at it. In
I mean,
your
I would
vision
tell
of
you,
Bruce
through
Wayne.
the entire 1970s, yes.
Neil Adams?
Well, I think the
Danny
70s
O'Neill?
was an era where that was, I mean, the focus of the character was the Playboy side.
Yeah.
And it's only been since then that he's been redefined that the Batman is the real person and that the Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yeah.
So when you go through, when you hit the Dark Knight Returns in '86, and everybody goes all gritty and dark because they're doing verisimilitude in the '90s, I think that ceases to be a question. And since we're now moving into an era where continuity is not important, because the Ben Affleck Batman is not the Chris Nolan Batman, and neither one of those is the Tim Burton Batman, it's no longer, I mean, because I can't imagine a man having his career for as long as the Batman's had his career with no sexual outlet. I mean, certainly the Kevin Smith Batman slept with Silver St. Cloud.
Yeah.
That happened.
Well, but Kevin Smith makes it his business to like make the character have realistic dialogue-ish and like poke fun at like random things.
So depending on the writer and the era, yes, but for the most part, what DC has going for it is their characters are icons.
Mhm.
And so Batman is an embodiment, a personification of justice, and as such he doesn't have human needs, and therefore no. So it takes a writer who's dealing with verisimilitude in an era where that's acceptable for them to go to that topic.
Yeah. Personally, I believe that Bruce Wayne only sleeps with a select few. Maybe the women that he loves, perhaps. But not those bimbos that he, like, drags around, right, to make him look...
There's no women that he loves. There's no collection.
I think that he loves, he is capable of love, and I think that, like, sure, his career takes a certain, you know...
Well, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You're saying a selected few, which implies that he's got a group, like a harem.
No, well, he does go...
But that
he
doesn't happen.
He has an on and off relationship with Catwoman, and they sleep together. You know?
That certainly happened.
Right.
I mean, the big New 52 reboot where they were doing
Catwoman #1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course he slept with Talia because there's a child in there, whether genetic material is stolen or not.
Right.
Let's not get that dark.
I think that's, well, obviously in...
But then the question is, can Batman love?
I think he can.
Do you think...
I personally like the Batman that loves.
Do you think the Bruce Wayne Batman would sleep with somebody he didn't love?
No.
Do you think he loves Catwoman?
I think yes. I think it's a very complicated thing. But
Sorry, I'm gonna go super serious on this.
No, I think it's... No, that's fine. I think that he does love Selena Kyle, but they came from two different backgrounds, and that they have a very complicated relationship, and will she ever give up being Catwoman, and will he ever give up being Batman? No. And that's what gets in the way of their relationship. That's time. Last but not least, our last topic is a heavy-hitting topic, a critical hit, perhaps. Basically, there are a lot of superhero movies. There are a lot that are scheduled to come out. Will the superhero bubble burst? I'll let you take it, Robert.
You want a comedic answer or a serious answer?
Give me both then. Come on, you're a smart guy.
Pop culture changes in interesting and diverse ways. Is it a bubble? Yes. Because everything that becomes a fad is introduced into the culture. We all kind of assimilate it, and then it scales back so that only those who are committed to it and interested in it will maintain it and continue with it.
Mm-hmm.
The poker boom, for instance. Poker got really big when Chris Moneymaker won the World Series. And while the tournament rates are still going up, it hasn't captured, the tournament participation rates are still at record highs. Like 7,000 people play the World Series every year. It doesn't capture the mainstream in the way that it did when the poker boom hit.
Yeah.
And most pop culture fads do that. They explode and then they shrink back to those who have found it.
Mm-hmm.
Magic did the same thing. I don't know if magic has hit pop culture as a whole yet, but there's still a culture that's growing that bubble. Superhero movies are the same way.
The biggest card game, like other than like classic poker and whatever, was Pokemon. That was the only thing that hit mainstream, I feel, as big. Even Magic, I don't think, has sold record numbers like that. Or even if it had, it's all about affecting pop culture.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing, is you have to affect pop culture.
But I think the movie industry is doing the same thing that the publishing industry did in the mid-'80s. I mean, Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns redefine the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And made people go, oh, there's another way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And movies have, the superhero movies have not really hit the superhero film as cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Chris Nolan Batman films cinema? I would argue the second one is. I think the first one is trying to convince an audience to move from the Tim Burton Batman into a more realistic Batman, and so it's a transitional film.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises is trying to do too much, and so it's bloated and unwieldy to me. But The Dark Knight, I believe, stands as the single best superhero film that's been made yet.
Okay.
So I would say that's your Watchmen right now.
I feel like it's a different beast, but Davey.
I mean, yeah, it's a bubble, and I do see it bursting.
Bursting or shrinking?
Well, I guess you could say shrinking. I mean, there's always going to be, superhero adaptations. Because of the fact that there's already source material, you don't have to keep coming up with something new. You can take something, this is in a comic book. It's mine now. We'll rewrite it real quick. We'll produce a movie. So it's not necessarily ever going to go away. I do feel like it's going to be a burst. I feel like, I don't know if, obviously Batman vs. Superman isn't out yet, but, DC is really trying to jump onto the train that Marvel's set. And if it doesn't go well, once Marvel has done theirs, once they've done that third Avengers movie, we could see that.
Because the third is technically two parts. Infinity War is part 1 and part 2.
But once that's over, I mean, even until then, we may lose a lot of people who are still following that train, and Infinity Wars may just be that last little group of people who started it, like he was saying. That last little group.
There's a need to continue doing it bigger and better, which is going to continue grabbing the mainstream. And then there's the need to do it well. With what Hero said about Fan Four Stick,
yes,
I won't call it anything else.
Yeah.
Because that's what they put on the poster.
Yeah.
My understanding is that Fox wants to do an X-Men TV show.
Yes.
But they don't own the rights to the TV production. because film and television production are two different legal entities. So the rumor I heard, which I hope is true, is that Marvel will use the TV rights to the X-Men to leverage Fantastic Four back to their studio, which sets up the possibility that post Infinity War, if you're doing bigger and badder, there's only one bigger and badder than Thanos.
You're gonna say,
and he's part of the Fantastic Four property. Is Galactus? That's the only thing you have left. I think I talked about this last time around. The current Secret Wars storyline is setting up something for a decade in the future in their movie properties in order to reintegrate the X-Men into their universe, and it will make sense. But by that point, unless you're continuing to do bigger and badder, the mainstream has found something else to do. They've found out what's next. And at some point they have to go, our focus is going to be on, they're telling good stories, but not on doing it bigger and badder, but in some ways smaller.
Winter Soldier was relatively small.
Yeah.
Like, as far as
but Civil War is going to be another Avengers film.
Yeah. But that's because I feel like Avengers 2 for me didn't live up to what
I don't think that was the plan, though.
I
mean, Civil War has 12 superpowered individuals in it.
And they're all going to fight against each other.
How many seasons does Arrow last, do you think?
Will Arrow last? Depends. Right now, DC is doing better in TV than they are in movies.
Right.
And if the movies fail so bad, I think they might start banking on the TV to create this universe. And that, I think, will last. Arrow could go 10 seasons. Smallville went 10.
How about Flash?
And that's Smallville. Flash could go longer, but they'll spin off and they'll create a new show.
How many shows go longer than 10 seasons?
Smallville hit 10.
Yeah, but that's super.
So fine, I'll give it 10. I'll give Flash 10.
Green Arrow 10 seasons.
I'll give them both because DC is banking on that. It's a marketable property.
Keep in mind, I haven't watched Arrow or Flash in detail of the first half season.
They're way better than Smallville.
But how many seasons does Daredevil get?
Daredevil's different though. It's Netflix. And Netflix
is the future.
But Netflix has a. I'm not saying that all the 10 seasons of Arrow will be great. Season 3 wasn't that great. Season 2 was awesome, but honestly, Netflix is quality over quantity. Network TV is quantity over quality.
I think that's kind of my point.
But it'll still last
because Marvel has gone to Netflix to go. Let's make our shows here.
Yeah,
they're going to become known for. These stories are good. Now that they have Blade and Ghost Rider, and there's one other member of that trifecta that I can't remember, but they have the core for a Marvel horror universe.
Not Morbius. Morbius is still... Well, is Morbius back with Marvel then?
No, he's still a Spider-Man property. There's one other one. It's Blade and Ghost Rider and somebody else who's on the dark horror side of the Marvel universe. But the rumor was that might go Netflix as well, because their focus is on telling
Midnight Suns.
Good... telling good, tight, concise stories.
Yeah.
And they've shown that they can do that with Daredevil, and they're going to keep going that direction.
I think Marvel, my answer for the bubble bursting, Marvel has a good handle on their properties, and I think they're diversifying. Winter Soldier was more of a political action thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy was a space opera. It wasn't sci-fi so much as the specific space opera. Because it could have gone just sci-fi and just been like a whatever sci-fi movie.
I don't think DC's figured that out.
DC hasn't figured it out yet. So I think their TV will work, and I think that as long as you diversify, as long as you create these subgenres of these things and create more superhero movies shouldn't be the genre. They should be political thrillers. They should be like Daredevil was. It was Law and Order essentially. It was this like episodic like law based show. I think as long as you diversify, it'll be fine. And I think that...
But DC won't.
DC could burst. And DC will collapse, maybe. And I'm seeing DC collapsing. I'm seeing Marvel going till... Because it's the first time that this has been done in cinematic history. It could go on forever. Who knows? I don't know. And they'll have to recast Captain America. And they'll have to recast all their main characters.
It's Disney.
And they'll just keep it going. And I'm fine with that. I don't think the balloon will burst with Marvel. It could burst with other people. And I think people will still continue to eat up Marvel. And Marvel will know how to diversify themselves. And I think that superheroes and comic books are different than a lot of other franchises. It's built into our structure as a society, as a culture. It's part of our pop culture.
Yeah.
It's Back to the Future. It was 3 movies and a cartoon show, and it was whatever. I was thinking about recent cartoons that made it into pop culture, like Doug and whatever. When people think of like cartoons and stuff, okay, that's fine. A Cat Dog didn't make it into pop culture. Didn't make it quite there. And to last the test of time, you have to make it into pop culture. I Love Lucy will live on forever. I didn't understand that, actually.
He's asking who the audience is in 2020.
Right.
I mean, just like with the books, the audience has aged. And so are they still telling us the stories, or are they telling the stories to the next generation? Which ties back to our earlier topics.
It's Girl Meets World and Boy Meets World. It's weird because they should have waited a little bit longer to do the sequel to Boy Meets World till the kids of the original fans can grow up and watch that.
But in 2020, is Captain America 6 years older than he is, 5 years older than he is right now? Because Chris Evans will be.
He will, but I don't think they're going to touch on that age.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with it at some point.
They'll recast him.
And there's the question.
But when they recast, they'll still be holding on to that story. They'll be holding on to the story. The movies, I don't think the Marvel Universe movies will ever reboot.
Will the audience buy a Tony Stark that's not Robert Downey Jr.?
I think they will buy. I'll tell you how to easily do. Tony Stark is the easiest one.
Marvel said we don't have to pay these actors, and until Robert Downey Jr. said, "Yeah, you do." Marvel's stance was, "It's not the actor that's important; it's the character." But now, I can cast anybody in that role. And Downey said,
All Downey has to do is lend his voice to a CGI Iron Man. Never have to show Tony Stark. That's all you have to do.
So what happens when he's done?
When he's done, they will phase out Iron Man. They'll bring in someone else. They'll do something, and they'll resort to some sort of gimmicks, but they'll be more easily digestible than the comic book gimmicks. What they did in the comics is they de-aged Tony Stark, and they made him a kid. And maybe they won't make him a kid in the movies, but they'll do something that will be gimmicky, but more digestible than turning him into a kid again. You know, they'll transfer his consciousness. I don't know. Or maybe they'll do a reboot where suddenly in Phase 4, everyone's a new actor. At a certain point, everybody will be recast. Who knows?
I think these are our mythology.
I think it's our mythology too, and I don't think mythology can burst.
And as a result, eventually that continuity becomes meaningless because they're icons. They're personifications. They're epitomes. They're definitions of who we are as a Jungian subconscious culture. If I can throw some BS psychology words out.
BS psychologist, right here.
I mean, ultimately, I have today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I have today. I'm going to do the best I can with today.
Davey?
I mean, the characters, the stories, they will stand. The movies themselves will stand. I mean, I can see myself 15 years from now going and watch the first Avengers again, showing my kids the first Captain America, the second Captain America. But will more stuff come out? I kind of feel that after Phase 3 ends, after you see the
Infinity Wars and everything?
Infinity Wars, I think the smartest idea is for Marvel to take a break in the cinematic universe. Just give it a little while. And then let people digest what's happened, and then give them something else. Because the more you throw things at people, the more people are like, okay, I've had it.
It's exhaustion.
I'm done, I'm going to move on to something else.
Yeah.
If you give people time to realize, oh, this is something new. If you give something exciting and new. But I think, I firmly believe that, I mean, after that last Avengers movie, that bubble may pop for everybody else.
Let me give you a different context on it. How long has Mickey Mouse been around?
Since the 30s, right?
Does continuity matter to Mickey Mouse?
No.
Disney now owns Marvel. Mickey's been around since 1928, apparently.
They'll just become icons.
Mickey is still Mickey, and he's still, I mean, just like we were talking about, Batman changes to be a representation of the decade that he's in, according to the writers that are writing him. You know, the stories will change, the writers will change, the relationship to the zeitgeist will change. But the character will always be there. And as long as there is still money to be made in the movie, they will make another movie. But the characters will still be there.
I'll still be there.
Always.
Always.
Never went anywhere. Still.
And I'll never have to. What camera are we on? So, That was very interesting talk. I think it could go on forever. We could literally talk about this forever. Sadly, there is a limit to the show. Heroes live forever. Legends never die. Was that close? That was close, right? Do I have to purse my lips a little more like Christian Bale?
I'm tearing up.
Where is he?
Where's Rachel?
Where are they?
Where are the drugs going?
Whoa, what was that?
Where are they going? It's Batman.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a Babe Ruth quote.
Oh.
You quoted it.
I was quoting Babe Ruth. That is all that we have for today on the Keeg.
Yeah, Batman like calling a shot with
What?
the gangster's head. Yeah.
And then he shoots the grappling hook. That's all we have for today on the Keeg. I would like to thank our guests, Davey Lynham. Davey, where can we see you next?
Well, hopefully, Lucid Streamers or twitch.tv/Lucid Streamers starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Laugh Chance at Stages Theater.
Cool.
And IFL.
Yeah, IFL. Robert, where can we see you next?
After today, after this last hour and a half?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might need to go, like, rent a shack on the beach and
Get away for a while.
do some meditating.
That's fair.
You can follow me on Twitter at @ImprovRobert or at TIA Bakersfield, CIAcomedy.com, Facebook.com/CIA Comedy.
There we go.
I'm easy to find.
Yeah. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode of The Keeg. I'd like to thank all you guys out there. Not sure who's watching, but whoever is watching... Sorry?
They might be in Hollywood land.
You guys might be in Hollywood land. Thank you so much for watching, giving us your time, being a fan of the show. Feel free, like, comment, subscribe. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. Keep in touch with the articles. We post a lot of articles on there. We also have a Patreon that we just need some support to keep the show going. Thank you so much for everything out there. Once again, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and you were watching The Keeg.